This is a Gallien Krueger 250ML amplifier. It's got two speakers. The cones were gone, as you can see from here. All the rubber cones were off the back of it. Many people try to figure out how to replace the speakers in these. Said it was difficult. It really isn't. You have to take out these 7 screws here, and this top will come off. I have some of the screws already out. There's also 3 different size screws, as you can see here. So you have to pay attention as to where these screws are coming out of, so you can put them back in the same spots. I didn't. I forget how many. There's a lot of the big ones. Only 4 of the small ones. And the medium ones, I think there was maybe 10. And after you get the last screw out, which you have to take a lot of screws out, you end up taking, like I said, these 7, and there's 2 here. On the front, you have to take out the screw here, here, and here. On the sides, you'll end up taking out 5 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This one in the middle here you do not take out. After you've taken off that top panel, it lifts up. Inside, you'll see all the wiring components. You'll have to take this one. It's 4 wire, which actually goes to speakers. This one, that's a 3 wire, and these go on just one way. They won't go on backwards. So if you take them off, that's fine. You know, see which way they come out, but they will not go on backwards. They only go on one way. After you've taken that off, there are 4 screws up on top. What I like to do is I like to work on this one side first. But I take the top screws out of this one side, flip the unit over. I don't have a tripod, so forgive me here. I loaned my other camera to my daughter. Once you've done that, you take out the side screws here. And again, there's 5 of them. I've already taken some out, like I said. And once you've taken that off, this will come right up, and the cover is off. Down the side here is you have your speakers and your transformer, but we have to get closer to it. So now your amplifier section is free, so you have to be careful once you've taken that top off. And the reason why I take that off is, see where the wires go in this notch right here. This unit will slide out. You can slide it completely out, but the wires get caught. So I just like to make sure the wires are free. Take out the final screw. And once you've done that, your amplifier section, which this is the whole kit and caboodle. That's what makes the amp work. Put that off to the side. Undo these wires. Oops. Take this other side off. Let me see if I can set this here. That might work. Take that other side off. You undo the screws, 5 of them. This next side comes right off. They have some sticky tape on here that you'll have to pry off. If you lose it, then maybe at Radio Shack you can put some black electrical tape. It's there just to keep the buzz away, I suppose. Once you have that off, on the bottom there are 4 screws that hold the front grate on. Three, 4, and then on the front there are 3 up top that you need to take off. And again, there's sticky stuff on this, so you may have to get a screwdriver or something to gently pry it. It slides off from the front this way, but pulls backwards this way, so you can take the grate off. That exposes your front speakers. The reason why you got to take that grate off is because when you're taking the speakers out, there are screws here, 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 and here that hold the speaker in. Once you've gotten that off, there are 4 screws to the back side of the case on the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then there are 3, it's stuck on the sticky stuff. And there are 3 on the back here, on the very top. And once you've done that, just picking up the screws so I don't lose them. Once you have done that, taken all the screws out, these 2 sections will now come apart. You pull your wires in, give you a little bit more room to work. Once you've gotten the 2 sections apart, with the screwdriver, you would hold the screw into the screw hole right there. And on the back side, we would take and loosen the 5/16 nut that they have on the back. If you have a cell phone or a small camera, what you would want to do is you'd want to take a picture of your wiring in here, just to see where they go. Again, on the old speaker that I had, they put a red mark here indicating the positive terminal. On these new ones that I bought, they actually have a plus sign right at the end there and a negative sign. So my positive terminal would be this. Positive terminal for this one would be this. You have to have the speakers going, the wiring on the speakers properly. If they were reversed, when you would make a note, the cones would go forward. In testing speakers, which you could find out on the web, you would hook a small battery up and you would watch the direction to see which way the cone would go, have to go in. And whatever side your battery was on the positive side would be the positive side of the terminal. If the cone went forward or out, then you would have the polarity reversed. So if you do lose track of your wiring, lightly put the wires in to a hole, plug the amplifier back together. You don't have to put it all together. You can pull your wires through, take the head, mount it, plug it in, just take a cord, make sure the volume is off, turn it on, and on the proper channel just touch the end of the cord, and the speaker would hum, and you would see the cones going backwards or forwards depending upon which way they were. My particular case, somebody had already had this apart, and I had one speaker cone going backwards and the other speaker cone going forwards. Right now they're both going backwards. So I'm not going to show you how to put it back together, but that's how you take it apart. You just have to follow it in reverse. The screws will be the hardest part. Remember where the screws go. Have fun.